Good morning and welcome to your daily dose of insightful conversations and trending topics. It's Jasiri o'clock and today we're going on a journey around the world without leaving our seats. Whether you're a seasoned traveler or an armchair explorer, today's episode is truly for you. But speaking of seasoned travelers, ladies, I have a few travel questions for you guys.
Okay,
What's doing you?
don't worry. Talk about.
Do you have a passport?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Of course.
So what is the problem? Just answer my questions first.
Selfishness.
I'm not the one who is your producer. So if you could relive one travel experience, what would it be and why? Hello?
These seasoned travelers. Are you talking to us seasoned
Yeah.
travelers? Where did I go that I really, really enjoyed? I'll say Maldives. I love ocean. I love water. So it was very, very interesting for me. Even though I went in a group, I would have, it's somewhere, for me, Maldives is like a honeymoon destination where you go with a particular person and you'd enjoy the experience. But it's a beautiful place. I like the idea of like I'm immersed in water.
You have this water fascination and this beach thing.
It's totally something, it's a vibe. I don't think a holiday is a holiday if it's not near nature or water.
Or inside water.
Or inside water.
Auntie?
So I would say that I'm looking forward to going to the Maldives, to be honest.
So what travel experience would you like to relive?
That's what I'm looking forward to.
You know,
should not embarrass me on air.
Life. It will change your life. So I have to say, really, yes, I like to travel, but all that anticipation build is not me. So my husband handles it. So because of him, we've traveled. One of my best experiences, probably my best experience so far, is Egypt. Egypt is beautiful. Egypt is not a country you visit one time. Like, even just, I've been getting shade from our guests that we were only in Cairo. Even just the fact that you have to travel so many hours, you have to fly, I think, like 4 or 5, 6, 8 hours between Cairo, Luxor, Sharm el-Sheikh, and these places.
And then it's that big?
It's that big. I saw the pyramids, I saw the Sphinx. We did a dirt bike ride for 2 hours in the desert. There was nobody. My husband was not afraid. I brought my whole family. If something happens, what am I going to tell people? But Egypt is a destination. I wish they would work a little bit about how they view sub-Saharan Africans. If you get what I mean, you understand what I mean. And then, of course, but it's a gorgeous country. So they said I should ask you more. So what's the first thing you do when you arrive in a new city?
Honestly, tourism for me is about very specific things.
Experiences. Food.
Fruits.
Fruits.
Yes, I do fruit tourism. I love fruits.
I love Egypt.
I love exotic fruits. So when I go there, the first thing I do is get into the hotel and ask them where they're marketing.
Yes.
Because I want to see fruits in its state. I have to try everything.
No, Lolo, you'll love Egypt. We had the purple carrot. I've had the sweetest watermelon and pineapple I've ever had in my life. Right. So almost every neighborhood had like a fruit market, like a fruit and veggies open farmers market, fresh. Sis, we're going. We must work it out. We need to do a girls' trip.
Just
even a Jasiri's trip.
Trip quickly, my children. You are holding my lifestyle. Honestly,
I want to ask, but
I
we're
want to
looking
go
forward
to
to the Maldives.
I want to go to Asia. Do you know that there's so many places I haven't even been, even though I've been to many places? Europe is one of them. I already planned my travel out COVID year.
You can wait sis. We did Paris and
COVID.
Belgium. Man, I've actually traveled. We did Paris and Belgium. We've done Dubai. I've done
Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay.
We try. We're waiting for the Maldives.
Yeah.
It's no shade. It takes time.
Let her go to Ghana first.
Okay. Even Benin Republic. You know, go and carry snake.
No.
Go and carry snake.
At least it will be something.
Yes.
No.
At least they'll stamp
maybe we
something.
should start from
They'll stamp
Ekiti. Have you seen the waterfalls?
Yeah. What's it, boy?
Wow. No, honestly, I am thinking when you're ready, I think you should go to Ekiti. And Oshun, there's this waterfall that is there.
Erin Jesha.
No, start from there. It's a beautiful experience. I will contribute.
As much as
Lola says she'll contribute.
As much as I admire nature, it
don't like
bores
waterfall?
me.
So
No,
she
I
does.
like
So you don't have to be
waterfall,
the kind
but
of
like,
person who does nature.
you
So places like
kidding?
Dubai has one of the world's biggest water parks. You're for adventure, right? Adventure doesn't always have to mean nature. That's people like Lolo, people like me. But sometimes you want the city life, you want the clubbing, you want to understand how they themselves have it. So it's a mix. You mix it all up.
Okay, then maybe not for you. Let's send it to
Where
they are dancing. Abi, you like that?
No, but the funny thing is, I think that at least even, some of the places that I could have gone within Nigeria, I feel like for me, it might be a mood thing because I might end up going there and then just being indoors all day. So
I can't travel with you.
I cannot.
So, we've been talking about, the first class versus your friends in economy. No, me and you can't travel.
No. It's not like I
Tolu,
want.
ask the last question.
Okay,
I have many stories.
So the last question is, what's the most challenging thing you faced while traveling, and how did you overcome? Lolo, your hand is
mo
up.
fẹ́ kú. Tolu, we traveled from Nigeria, and it was the first time my boys were traveling out of the country. I mean, my younger boys. And I had my PA with me at that time, Jemola, and the 2 boys. And we flew Turkish. And that was that time that they had snowstorm. Tolu, we were... And my sister had dropped us. We went to London. My sister had dropped us at the airport. So they expected us to have gone.
Meanwhile, you were snowed in.
We were snowed in for like 2 days.
In the airport?
Tolu,
in a London airport?
No, we left. We went to a hotel, but the hours, the agony of cutting your boys. And we are, 6, how many were that's 4, 5? Cutting boxes.
Up and down everywhere.
But my boys, they were younger, but they pulled their weight, but it was exhausting. So, Mommy was, and as if that was not good enough, they now put us on alternate flights. But they did not do our tickets well. Tolu, after all that agonizing 2 days, we now got to the point of boarding. I had to go twice back. They kept saying my boarding pass did not pass through. So I'll go back, they'll do something to it, it passed through.
They'll send you for it.
So we now got to the boarding gate. The final, the boarding pass did not go through. My children had crossed. Only moi. And I was working at that time and already overstayed a week.
Yeah.
Tolu, I was traumatized. The lady tried, called the airline, they say, I don't know. Eventually she looked at me. She said, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm going to let you pass. Because you seem so stressed.
He's God.
But if they don't pay me, if they don't pay for your ticket, I'm going to have to do it.
Wow.
I looked at the lady like this. If you see the prayer when I pray, heaven said no that somebody was knocking. I wasn't just knocking. I was using iron bomb to hit heaven's gate. When you have had your beat about the holiday and you just wanted to get home. My sons were on the other side. They were crying. Mommy, our mommy. Tolu, Shori. When I got into the plane, I sat. I started to cry. When the plane started taxiing, anytime I hear, I feel to say, I'm not to when the plane lifted, that was when I actually breathed.
I'm so sorry.
That's one of it. The day I forgot I missed my flight in the US. That's the day I began to learn that military.
What?
The learning of that military timing.
Oh, 1617. It's
1 a.m.
When I traveled,
that was the mistake I made. I didn't know my plane had flown in the morning. I got there thinking it was.
Did you think 1700 was 7 o'clock? Wow.
Because they kept trying, all my cards were not working because now I had to pay an additional money to be able to get on the other flight. Yeah. They are angels.
You tried.
No. Tolumo was traumatized.
You tried. So for me, I think one of the ones was, Corday was much younger. She was under 2. Guys, I will never in my life travel with a child. If you're not a lap baby that I'm holding, you must be at least 5 years old. Running after her in Doha airport. Then I dropped I dropped her passport. I almost lost my mind. It was just me. Of course, I'd gone shopping. 4 big bags. I was going up and down. I said, please, I'm leaving my airport. I want to go home. No. See, airport experiences, missing flights. It's really traumatizing. It's traumatizing. I have to say a very big shout out to my friends, James and Wonuola Olatunde-Lamidi. When we went to Egypt, we got VIP. As in, they were waiting for us.
You were balling. I saw it. I was living vicariously. I need to shout out to Ever Great Liz. I met her, a Nigerian woman. She works in one of the airlines. She saw me and she just recognized me as an actor. She said she had never approached an actor before because one had been nasty.
To her.
So she said something just grabbed. Tolu, she stayed in the airport, worked it out for me to be able to get on the flight in the morning. I'd never seen this lady beyond that day. We only say hi on Instagram. no, she was an angel of mercy to me.
I think we all need that. So I'll go back to Egypt. As much as I had fun traveling to Egypt and seeing all those places, I said earlier, Egyptians and sub-Saharan Africans, they're not used to Africans who are not coming to the country to do menial labor. And so you could see the look, where my husband is big and tall, our family, so you'll see 5 or 6 of us, we're walking in the mall, and you could just see them looking. We need to learn Egyptians. There's a level of racism, not even a level. There's racism there. And as beautiful as the country is, that was just one of the few things that really made it a challenging experience for me. But I really hope we do much more in terms of connectivity with other African countries, which is a big part of our conversation today.
Okay, everybody has talked about their experiences.
I'll go into Maldives with you, Sha.
What?
I've never been to the Maldives or
Well,
Seychelles.
you don't want to go with her.
Why don't I want to go with her?
Someone that doesn't like water.
That has not gone to Ekiti
When
State.
you're going to wear your beach wear, scuba dived.
I love
bikini.
water. I just said that.
Bikini
He's
stuff.
bikini, my friend.
Let's go on a quick break now.
Are you
Because
chasing us?
the-
You have no respect for your elders.
I don't mind. Okay, when we come back, I hope that you have your passports, like I do, because we will embark on a journey around the world, exploring the thrill of traveling and the possibilities that come with it. So stay tuned. Jasiri returns shortly. Welcome back. We're streaming live on our social media platforms. We are at News Central TV. Now, use the hashtag Jasiri to be a part of the conversations. And you would agree with me, we have been talking about traveling and we're about to dive deeper into it. Traveling opens up the world, offering us new experiences and, of course, perspectives. But for many, the journey is influenced by the power of their passport. So today we are exploring an important question. How far can your Nigerian passport take you? We'll examine the destinations accessible to Nigerian travelers and the unique challenges that they face. If you remember yesterday, we talked about the richest man in Africa complaining about the visa bottlenecks that he has to face, and he doesn't have time for that. Anyways, we'll also look at the ongoing conversations around how easy or not it is for Africans to travel around Africa. To help us navigate this topic is a multi-award-winning tour operator with over 2 decades in the travel industry. She also co-founded Diamonds and Pearls Travels in 2010 and has been instrumental to making travel more accessible for Nigerians. Ladies, please give it up for Wonuola Olatunde-Lamidi. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Thank
Welcome. We're about to get bombarded. We're going to let Lola start.
Anyway, we're going to just start. Let's just dive into it. Can you tell us about the current state of Nigerian tourism? Because it's a whole industry. Before, a lot of people just used to see it like, something we just talk about. But now it's a thriving industry. How has the travel industry evolved since you started your company about a decade ago?
Oh, wow. The travel industry has really changed. Aside the fact that we have more tour operators and more travel agents selling travel, we have a lot of Nigerians that want to travel. Yes. Nigerians are adventurous travelers. They love life. So when they travel, they're looking for many things. Some of them are shopping. Yeah, we don't have those very big malls here in Nigeria. Yes, so they must shop. They're looking for fun. Most likely beach resorts. So you see there's some destinations that really sell because of the beach. They're looking for adventure. Now, talking about travel within Nigeria, there are quite a number of states that are really promoting tourism in their state, and one of them is Akwa Ibom. In fact, Akwa Ibom just received an award as a state that is really promoting tourism. Akwa Ibom is a beautiful destination. The greenery there is amazing. The food is delicious. And they actually have quite a number of hotels and resorts of international standard that are willing and waiting to welcome travelers. We also have tourism being promoted in Ekiti, in Ondo State, in Calabar, like the Calabar Festival. Yes. And yet there are quite a lot of places that we can visit within Nigeria to promote tourism and to experience what we have here in Nigeria.
It's very interesting you talk about that, because if I'm going to travel, my first thought is not traveling into Nigeria. And I've spoken to a number of people who are in the travel and tourism industry, and you'll get to certain places, and I hope it's not like that now, but no Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I have to, I get into the hotel and they have not cleaned the room in a while. And especially when you talk about these resorts that are tied to nature. So it's not the first thought many of us have had. So in terms of visiting these locations within Nigeria, how are we going to promote inter-Nigeria tourism? Because I asked that because I believe that the best ambassadors for any country are its people.
Yes.
So if my people are not able to go to, I think that's Kajuru Castle there.
Yes.
A lot of Nigerians don't know that there's a castle somewhere in this Nigeria.
Are you serious? Where is this?
Yes.
It's
in
gorgeous.
Kaduna.
It's in Kaduna.
Wow.
Yes.
So if you don't know that these places exist, how do you go there when we've heard so much about Rome? We've heard so much about the Eiffel Tower. We've heard so much about Tabletop Mountain, even in South Africa. How do we promote it? Like,
I just went there.
I've gone on
yes,
this.
and you
It's
warned me not
scary.
to do this.
It's super
Again.
scary.
Do it once and leave it there. Just like I paraglided and I'm done.
How do we do that?
So the first thing to do if you want to promote local tourism is to use the locals. Use the people living in those sites. For instance, if you tell the villagers that for every tourist that comes to explore in your city or come to see maybe this shrine or come to climb this mountain or something, you, the locals, will get something. You'll get a percentage from what we are charging. Do you think that the locals will not take charge? They would, because they know that there's a benefit in it for them. So we need to, first of all, use the locals. Then we need to educate them on the importance of tourism. Why are we traveling to Rome, Paris, Italy, all these countries? It's because we're going there to see something, and they have made their destinations open. They're inviting us. They want us to come, and they're collecting our money. So if we can train the natives, educate them, empower them. Why will I be going to see a tourist site in my country and this is smelling of urine?
Exactly.
I won't want to go.
I want to
See
even
Obudu.
Exactly.
I even wanted to, because we're talking about destinations within Africa.
Yes.
Look at somewhere like Abeokuta. I have been there twice, and the dilapidation I see is beyond. It's one of the most elevated Olumo rocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It
has
should
history.
be
Yes.
evolving. Every year should be different from the last. But you know, I don't want to go again because it was scarier than the first time.
So the problem we have in Nigeria is that we have poor maintenance culture. And sorry to say this, sometimes when something is being handled by the government, it's not usually very well managed. So they need to actually put some things in the hand of the private sector so that they can manage it, because they know this man is using it for business. So it's not just a rock. This is a rock that is empowering me and is empowering the people around me. Another challenge with tourism within Nigeria is security. People don't want to travel from one place to the other because they're afraid. They don't know what is going to happen to them while they're on the journey. Good roads. We don't have enough good roads. Electricity, as she said. Free Wi-Fi, internet. You go somewhere, you carry your phone on the mountain and you can't find
It's one of the perks of being abroad. Anytime,
Exactly.
anywhere you're at, every cafe,
From even the airport.
Yes. So
Functional Wi-Fi.
As Nigerians, we ourselves, we shouldn't always wait for the government. We ourselves need to take charge. We need to take the first step. We need to move. How do we make our destination more friendly, more tourist friendly? Because the honest truth is that people are coming to Nigeria.
Yes.
And the hotels that are getting it right are making their hotels clean and smell nice. All that adds up. The ambience, the staff, the way they behave, the way they are dressed, it all adds up. It makes you want to go to a hotel over and over again. And that's why some hotels within Nigeria will keep getting repeat business. And hotel is also part of tourism.
Yes, it is.
Some people actually travel to a destination for a hotel.
Yes.
Not necessarily because they want to experience that destination or the things around it. But there's no way that they will be in the hotel for 3 nights and just be sleeping, and they wouldn't end up seeing the locals, seeing what is around them. So we need to promote our destinations. We need to do much more. We need to make sure that security is top-notch. We need to make sure that the hotels are trained on how to manage their hotels. Not that I go into a room and the room is dusty, it's not smelling nice. That smell is very important, but they don't know.
I think she's had a bad experience because the way she said that.
Have you not seen hotels that cockroaches jump at you?
Exactly.
Or the one that's let's leave that one. So I want to expand a little bit, because yesterday we spoke about Daddy Aliko, as
Yes,
we're calling
our
him now.
daddy.
Aliko Dangote, and he talked about his visa problems in moving around the continent.
Yeah.
That video has somewhat gone viral. If you missed it, let's quickly take a look at it before we get to the next question. And we don't have it yet. But anyway, we're going to go on. So anyway, he spoke about the fact that he needed to have at least 35 visas to travel the continent. And he made his observations about traveling around the continent and how it affected him. He was basically really speaking about the limitations of the Nigerian passport.
Yes.
So there are two issues there: the limitations of the Nigerian passport, but also the fact that as an African, he needs these visas to travel around the continent. We have the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreements. We have the Single African Air Transport Market. None of these African continental initiatives can be successful if we don't have free movement of persons around the continent. So in your years of experience in the travel industry, how have visa restrictions affected travel between African countries? And why does it seem like it's easier for non-Africans to move around this continent of ours than it is for another African to travel the continent?
Well, the honest truth is that traveling within Africa is actually quite difficult, as Daddy Aliko already said.
I love it, Daddy Aliko.
And that is why tourism in Africa hasn't really developed. There's so much potential in Africa. Africa is beautiful. Zanzibar has amazing beaches, the Indian Ocean, the turquoise blue sea. Oh my God. Mombasa is another destination that has the Indian Ocean. Egypt, she talked about Egypt, so I don't need to talk about Egypt again. Morocco. But even traveling within West Africa sometimes can be quite stressful. And one of the reasons, there are actually two major reasons. One of them is the visas. Yeah. Now, to travel within Africa and to some African countries, you need a visa as a Nigerian passport holder. To go to Angola, you need a visa. I had a group that went to Namibia, and they had like an 11-hour stopover in Angola. And we begged and begged and begged. No. Allow these people just enter and just sleep in a hotel for a few hours. They said, no.
But Namibia and Angola in the recent have been trending on social media for their treatment of Nigerians.
Yeah. Well, the honest truth is that when my guests went to Namibia, they didn't have any issue. But when they were in Angola, in the airport, they had an issue. They didn't like the treatment. That's the honest truth. So I really don't know why this keeps happening. But there's this thing of, oh, they are Nigerians. You know, they have this certain kind of behavior. There's a certain way Nigerians behave. The truth is that Nigerians are loud. Yeah. And it's not that it's intentional. It's just us. And we don't feel like we're doing anything wrong. Yeah. If you say a Nigerian, a Kenyan, a South African, you will know who the Nigerian is.
Yes, you will.
Yes, and it's not because we are trying to be proud. It's just who we are. So anywhere we go, people notice us. Yeah. And to be honest, some other African countries find this a bit intimidating. Yes, because we're go-getters. We're not failures. Everywhere we go, we want to be the top. Not because we're going to get a prize, but how will I leave my country and spend plenty money on tickets and come here and be a failure? Yeah. So the major challenge we have is visas. If we can make if we can lift visa restrictions within Africa, we're going to get a lot of movement within Africa. See Rwanda, for example. Absolutely. Rwanda is so beautiful, and it's visa-free for Nigerians. So countries that have made their visa process easier have actually gotten more tourists from Nigeria. Another major challenge within Africa is movement, transportation. Do you know that it's cheaper to travel, it's cheaper and easier to travel from Lagos, Nigeria to France than to travel to Cape Verde?
I'm not surprised.
There's no direct flight to Cape Verde. You either have to go to Senegal or you go to Morocco before getting a flight to take you to Cape Verde. And in Cape Verde is just 4 hours. It's just 4 hours from Nigeria by air. So if we can make connectivity within Africa by air and by road easier, this tourism dollar will remain in the continent.
So I like how she finally got to the dollar. I was waiting for you to land because we're all chasing this hard currency, this USD. Yes. When we leave, we have to convert money. When people come, they have to convert money.
Yes.
We're ignoring a very easy source of money.
Exactly, yeah.
Blessings, apologies.
Well, still talking about the dollar, I mean, you've talked about visa being a challenge. You talked about movement, and then there's the dollar challenge. So I think that, of course, you can't talk about travel without finances, right? And sometimes it's seemingly easier to travel outside of the continent than even within. And I'm talking about financially, too. Why is it so expensive traveling from one country in Africa to another country in Africa?
Flight connectivity, number one. Number two, some of the hotels in some destinations in Africa are, should I say, overpriced? And the reason why they're overpriced for the African, right?
Because they're servicing an international market.
Thank you.
The audience is
exactly. So they're used to Europeans coming. And the Europeans are already earning dollars. They're already earning euros and pounds. So paying this money is not difficult for them. But we have to change our naira to dollars. Then the dollar will now go there and you spend it. It's really stressful. And that is why travel within Africa is expensive. Some hotels I don't sell Zimbabwe, not because I don't want to sell Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has a beautiful Victoria Falls. It's amazing. The greenery there is nice.
The falls that
Zimbabweans are nice. They are calm. They are warm. They are friendly. But if I put a package together to Zimbabwe, a package to Paris will be cheaper. because the hotels in Zimbabwe are more expensive. And you see, these are things that I tell my destination management companies, my partners. I tell them, this hotel is too expensive. You want someone to come to your country and do 4 nights, do 5 nights, do 6 nights, and you are charging as much as $300 a night for a room. Why? Wow. It's too much. So they need to have what you call Africa rates.
Yeah.
Now, East African countries, Kenya, Tanzania, they have what you call the East African rates for residents within
their community.
within East Africa. The GCC countries, that is the UAE, the Qatar, they have what you call the GCC rates. Yes, within their community. Egypt have what you call Egyptian rates, which they promote so that their their locals can also experience. Thank you. So we need to have what you call the African rates. Now, let us look at Africa side by side, the Schengen region. It is easier to travel within the Schengen region than it is to travel within Africa.
Yeah.
It is 1 hour by train from Paris to Brussels. 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes tops in a nice train, and you're very comfortable. That same train, you can enter that same train to Germany, to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
And is it not just one visa?
It's just one visa. Just one visa.
I was just going to expand the question because
Yes.
when it comes to traveling abroad, what are the challenges Nigerians face even more? Because I know now, I think visas are even easier to get than in the former years.
Yes.
Before now.
Yes.
So what challenges stand up when it comes to foreign travels for Nigeria?
So now, let me start with destinations that are visa-free for Nigerians.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there are destinations like Barbados that are visa-free for Nigerians. Barbados is beautiful.
But is there a direct flight to
That is what I was
have to go
getting
into
to.
the US.
Yes, you have to go in through the US or
need a
going
US
through
visa.
Europe. You need a US visa. So when we're talking about destinations like that, yes, it's visa-free, but how am I going to take you there? How will you get there? So that's number one challenge. The second challenge is sometimes, not all the time, because it actually depends on who is applying for the visa. And to the glory of God, in the 20 years that I've been, doing this business, I've actually found an easier way to get visas for my customers. But another challenge Nigerians have is visas. And one of the reasons is because we've had people in the past that have bastardized how you process visas. They use fake documents. And so anytime you apply for a visa as a Nigerian, the consular's first radar is, are the documents original?
Scrutiny.
Yeah, exactly. So they scrutinize us very well, extra, just, for you to get a visa. And then even for destinations that used to be easy for us to enter, like Seychelles, we can't go to Seychelles again for now. Some Nigerians
We have done the
drugs
do.
there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That everybody was doing destination wedding and destination proposal.
You cannot do destination wedding in Seychelles again. Go to Mauritius.
So really, they've blacklisted Nigerians.
Yes,
Yes,
they blacklisted us.
For how long, though?
I think this
Until
was
they're
last
ready.
year, maybe last year, September.
And until they're
something, but it was
ready.
last year. Until they're ready. So, in all honesty, we as Nigerians, we need to behave well. And the sad part is that it is the bad eggs that, that makes the majority suffer. Because the honest truth is that 70 to 80% of Nigerians that travel, they do well when they travel and they come back. Another challenge Nigerians have is when you travel and you overstay your visa. By the time you're applying for a visa again, the chances of getting that visa will be difficult. Because you must prove beyond reasonable doubt why you had to stay back. So visa is one issue. Connectivity is another issue. Behavior when we travel is another issue. And now exchange rate. So the number of people that are traveling now has reduced. Yes. Because imagine you're changing dollar to 1.5. How much? And the truth is that the hotel prices and all these things have not really changed, though. They've not really gone up.
But shouldn't this be the time now that we're seeing ads everywhere talking about a resort in Osun, a resort somewhere? There's an obvious gap. The gap is coming because of the US dollar to the Naira situation. We should be seeing advertising as saying, keep your hard-earned money, come and spend it in Nigeria. Obudu is there, Irijesha is there, Oshobo something shrine is there. This is an opportunity that the industry has to step into the gap.
Yes. Now, tourism boards, that's state tourism boards, are really doing that. They are pushing and they're trying to bring people into their destination. Now, for you to bring people to your destination, you must let them know what they're going to enjoy when they come. It's not just come, we have a nice hotel, we have a nice resort, we have this. What are they going to enjoy? What is the experience like? So Nigerians now are traveling more for experience. There's a resort in Lagos here, it's called Ziba Beach Resort. I don't know if any of you have been there. Yeah, the experience there is why people go there. First of all, it's all inclusive. That's breakfast, lunch, dinner, and drinks. And you can sleep in a hotel as if you're in Maldives because the hotel is just connected to the swimming pool. You just walk out of your balcony and you're seeing a swimming pool.
So you're taking me to a point I want us to go to now. So if Nigerians are not, if we don't have the money to necessarily travel, where are we going to? Are there any new trends in popular destinations? And then one of the things when Pelumi was here, the lady who did the London to Lagos, we talked about the rise of this solo female traveler. Are you also seeing that as a trend within the business as well?
Oh, yes, we are. Women travel more than men. So you see women traveling, maybe two friends or a lady traveling, and she's telling you that I want to visit 4 countries or 4 cities in 8 days. And the truth is that most of what she wants to do is create content. So we're seeing a lot of travel content creators, you know, how will I call it? They're nudging people to travel to these destinations because these destinations are just so beautiful. And you see, travel is education, but at the same time, it's soothing. It's something that just makes you happy. And that's why you see a lot of...
I want to go to Europe
my skin
because...
is different
when
I'm in Nigeria.
Anywhere that I see cobblestones, that I see old stone
like those kind of
houses,
architecture.
that I can walk through a Grecian Strait. That's why Europe is calling me.
That's why you like the old
do
style.
content creators really help? Do content creators really help in terms of like, do we see a
direct
rise
value?
In people, traveling more when content creators create this content?
Yes, because the content creator doesn't sell it as a travel agent, number one. Number two is a lifestyle. Thank you. They're selling it as something that you need to add to your bucket list. So they show you the hotel, they show you the destination, the things you can do, the clothes you can wear, the food you can eat. So travel has gone before, let me go somewhere and enter water park. No, there's gastronomy, there's fashion. Yes.
Water park,
Then people are bringing in different things into travel. There's clubbing. So now you see people say, when you go to Marrakesh, you must go to this club. When you go to Greece, you must go Santorini, you must go to this club. When you go to, what's it called? Barcelona, you must go to this club. So they're selling it as something wholesome, something exclusive, something inclusive at the same time.
I think the kind of content creators I even appreciate more are the ones who will tell you travel to so-so place and so-so place on a budget, and then they break it down for you. Because that way, it's creating that for people who would not think, oh, I want to put out millions to travel.
Demystifying it
like,
for you.
Okay, it's not that much, you know. I can,
It's like the way I want to carry myself to Lebanon now. That's another conversation. So I need to ask another thing because you've talked about Rwanda being an example of a country getting it right. So Rwanda, the Gambia, Benin Republic, and Seychelles, even though Seychelles has kicked us out, they have all eliminated visa requirements for all Africans. So let's talk about who's getting it right and what we as Nigeria can emulate for them. Now I know we do have visa on arrival, but I've had 2 people use that visa on arrival in the past 3 or 4 years, and there is corruption. The website sometimes doesn't work. And it is I believe, honestly, it is an intentional thing so that people must do it when they come. And the moment you're putting the human element, you're increasing the opportunity for bribery and corruption. Who's getting it right? What do we need to emulate from them?
So when we talk about visa on arrival for those coming to Nigeria, there's something you call reciprocity, right? So when you look, I feel that the visa fees for those coming to Nigeria are quite expensive. But when I always ask that question, immigration will tell me the price is benchmarked against what they're charging us. So if they're charging us this, then we should charge them the same thing. So that's for visa on arrival. I also feel that the visa on arrival process needs to be a bit more seamless. It needs to be easier. That way we're going to get more people coming to Nigeria. Because when you hear people say, I'm coming to Nigeria, the first thing they think about is how am I going to get visa? First of all, applying in the embassy over there is usually a bit tedious. So embassies, that's our embassies, our ambassadors outside in other countries, need to help us. They need to make the visa process easier. They need to make people want to come to Nigeria. A lot of countries have, see Qatar, for example, they've introduced what you call hire visa. It's easy. I can get hire visa in 48 hours to go to Qatar. They've made the visa process easy. Now, you can make visa processing easy and at the same time add some things to it so that it seems like it's strict.
Like it's a package.
Yes, so that people don't come here and misbehave on their visa. Now, when you apply for some countries like the UK, the US, they tell you that this visa doesn't allow you work, this visa doesn't allow you recourse to public funds, this is that. Put all those terms and conditions there so that when people get these visas, they come here, they value it, they do what they want to do, and they get out. So we need to sort out the visa on arrival issue. Now, how are those other countries getting it? Number one, they are fueling their tourism ecosystem. They don't joke with their waters. Yes. No pollution.
Lagos.
Lagos. As you be seeing bottle, you see Orishi, pure water nylon, all of them. Yes.
Styrofoam.
That's our tourist attraction.
Exactly. So they don't joke with their waters because they know they make money from it. People go there, they do parasailing, they do undersea walk, they do banana boats. If the water is dirty, no one will enter. We have beaches in Nigeria, which we're not using so much. Yes, I know that because of the Atlantic Ocean, the current is high, you can't do much. But there are countries that have built barriers so that they can use it, just like what we had in Landmark. Those barriers allow people to do water sports. So number one, they don't joke with what they make money from. Another thing is that they educate their
like the
locals.
They educate the locals. So they are friendly, they are welcoming, they're just amazing. You just want to go back because of how you received them. Their hotels. They grade their hotels. This is 3-star, this is 4-star. You cannot
and they are really what it is.
Exactly.
It's not a 2-star hotel that is parading itself as a 5-star.
So when you're going to a hotel, you know that it is 5-star, and Antara, it's luxury, I'm going to get luxury. Another thing is that they open up their system so that they can receive investors. Investors need to come and build the hotels for us if we ourselves do not want to build it. Because yes, running a business in Nigeria can be a bit, difficult. And so yes, some investors may not want to come.
I like when I talk to an industry practitioner that knows their onion.
And you see the passion.
And you see the passion that they do know this one. Now, because Nigerians are just trendsetters, now we're beginning to see Nigerians, who are living in Nigeria, host conferences outside Nigeria.
Rwanda.
In other countries like
Rwanda.
Kigali, Rwanda, you see Tanzania, Kenya.
Mauritius,
so how can we
Singapore.
promote Nigerian tourism?
Nigerian conferences are going to Singapore.
Yeah.
I love the way you say inside the continent. We're talking conferences Singapore.
Dubai, I know.
Dubai,
Doha, France.
Dubai Women Conference have gone to Dubai.
I will be specific to say public. If it's a private conference, no problem. But public conference.
Public conferences. What can we do to make this place more attractive to international people to use us? Because it's not like we're all bad.
No.
There are still great places within the country that can, do these things. So who do we need to ask to do it? Is it the government or private individuals to put more investment in tourism?
Both. Government and private, they need to work hand in hand. We shouldn't be working in silos. It shouldn't be like this part is for the government, this part is for the private sector. We need to come together and see how it can work for us, because at the end of the day, if I'm a private business owner, I pay taxes to the government.
Yes.
If I bring in more tourists into Nigeria, my taxes increase. So government gets more money. So the two have to work together. That's number one. Number two, we need to train Nigerians on how Nigerians, when it comes to hospitality, we're not very, very good, to be honest. We're a bit aggressive. So we need to train the hospitality sector and train every Nigerian on how to be a good host. People come to Nigeria for so many reasons, and we're known abroad for our music. You walk into a club in Paris and you are here, baby, calm down.
Yes. In Dubai, all the tours on the water.
Yes.
Nigeria, stop playing Nigerian music.
And they're dancing and they even know our stars more than we do. They start telling, this one was by Davido, this one was by... They start telling you all these things and you're like, wow. When they come to Nigeria, they want to experience Nigerian cuisine. They want to eat our jollof. They want to go to Anowambe party. Yes. They want to go clubbing. Now, these are things that we can put together to create a package. As I said, that's part of our culture. That's gastronomy, fashion. They like our fashion designers. Nigerians have gone far when it comes to fashion. When I go out, when I travel, I wear a lot of Nigerian fashion designers. And people are like, oh, he's so colorful. He's so nice. He's so beautiful. Oh, what kind of fabric? They tell them is Ankara. And they're like, oh, now, wow, you bought this in Nigeria. They are telling me, send me clothes from Nigeria. I'm telling you, these are things that people can enjoy when they come to Nigeria. So we need to make the environment a bit more conducive. I'm not saying it's not conducive, but we can do better.
We can.
To, receive more tourists into Nigeria. And so,
when you talk about all this, I think this oil that has been our mainstay for so many years has been an issue. Because when you look at internationally, number one, travel and tourism is actually very eco-friendly, except for the air flights or whatever. But it's a sustainable, long-term investment. But it seems that we struggle with sustainable and long-term in the long run.
Maintenance is our biggest
maintenance.
issue.
Yeah.
It's not like...
But it was not... Was it like that 20 years
every
ago?
time I see National Theatre, I
please,
cannot lie.
Please.
I shed tears. Whenever I pass, you will see a gloom over me. Because that is something in another country. Eiffel Tower.
No, so
What is
did
so
I not say it
special?
here? I said it before. Clean the lagoon in front of National Theatre. Turn it into a resort. There's restaurants, there's sleeping, there's hotels, there's cruises. You can fish in the street. There's so much just in the middle of Lagos.
Yes.
But we're all here. All right, so one more question before we go, because you've said a lot, and I think that's something we've taken away. But she's not the only one going on tour. Hello, we must speak after the show. Right?
Okay, no problem.
Fantastic. So the other question they wanted us to ask, and I think it is even important, because this is a business that you co-founded with your husband.
Yes.
Yes, and you guys have been doing this for...
I
like
businesses that couples do and succeed.
I don't know how you're doing it, mixing family with money. So it has to be a conversation we have here on Jasiri, So how do you manage to balance your business and personal life? Have you ever gotten a situation where both of you are the co-founders, you're both running it, it's one of you, no, it's this thing we must do. My way is the way we should do it. How do you handle all of that?
Okay, well, so first of all, when we started the business, I won't say it was a bit of a struggle, but what God helped us to do, is that we use each person's strength for the business. Okay. I'm more of the marketing type. I'm the type that I can go on a trip with customers and I can dance on the streets. My husband will not do that. So my husband is more of the admin, the finance, the HR, while me I'm the marketing, the social media, the one creating the packages. So God helped us and taught us that, first of all, design this thing along your strengths. So each person uses their strength for the business, so we don't clash. When it comes to decision making, there are two things we do. First of all, what does the Word of God say about it? I'm sorry, but I have to bring God out. That's what works for us practically. What does the Word of God say about it? And in the long run, how does it benefit the business? So yes, it might be that, no, let's do it my way. No, let's do it your way. But we must always remember that this business is not just for us. It is, first of all, God's business. And it's a business that is serving people and also has staff. And every staff is a family. So we look at it, how does it benefit the business? If it doesn't benefit the business, even if it was my husband's idea or my own idea, if it doesn't benefit the business, we're going to reject it. So that is one thing that we do. And that is what has helped us. Our business is 14 years this year. We've been married 15 years. That is what has helped us.
And you started like a year after you married.
Yes.
And in the early honeymoon days.
Exactly.
So you guys were birthing ideas.
Yes, baby. Let's go on a hot air balloon.
Then how do we separate business from family? So one thing we don't do is we try as much as possible not to talk about home when we're in the office. Of course, once in a while, my son this, my daughter needs this, but we separate home from the business. And we also delegate a lot. So we have staff that do different things. So we also have staff at home that do different things so that it doesn't affect our business, it doesn't affect our personal lives. And we realized that when we started delegating, we're able to do more. We're able to become more strategic, because as management, there's some things that we should do as management. Open up new destinations, go on TV, go for speaking engagements, speak with top industry players. We're able to do that. So we're able to open up much more destinations for our customers. And that has really helped us. And another thing that we do is, aside the fact that we put the business first, right? We are not selfish. We both have our own personal agenda. obviously. We both have things that we want. So what we did is that we make sure that we put some discipline into the business. We earn salaries as business owners. So there's nothing like, I want to buy Gucci bag, go and collect it from the company account. No, there's nothing like that. If you want to buy Gucci bag, buy it from your salary. Exactly. So we both earn salaries. And whatever we want to do with our salary is up to you. It's your business. And we make sure that, of course, there's a leadership that does more like do as I do, not do as I say. And that has transcended, throughout our organization. And it has been amazing working with my husband. I believe that marriage brings a blessing. When you come together, the Bible says one we chase 1,000, two we chase 10,000. Working with my husband has really been amazing. I was the one who actually started the company. My husband used to work in a tea salad. And as the business started growing, my husband said, this my wife cannot cope anymore. And so he left the tea salad and he joined me. And the honest truth is that when he came, he brought structure.
How many people can do that these days? The
and
husband will
trust
join
the
the wife's
husband
business.
with your multi-million business.
So you guys are opening up another conversation we need to have. That is, of course, doing business with family or mixing finances and doing business. I think you have to come back for that conversation.
No problem.
There's some gems there.
We want to see positive and a negative sitting next together.
Please, who is going?
I want to say a very big thank you. Honestly, it's been such an insightful conversation. Thank you so much, Wonuola Olatunde-Lamidi.
Thank you for having me.
For taking us, on a lovely journey around the travel industry. Hopefully in the nearest future, the Green Passport will be a treasure worth having, not a disaster in your hands waiting to happen. We'll go for another break, but when we return, it's time for Hot Topics.
Do you see the time on the clock?
My back is dripping up to my pants.
Right back here on Jasiri. Of course, it's just a few minutes to the top of the hour, and of course, we have to get out of this. Because my brain is here and my brain is somewhere else right now.
We have so much juicy hot topics. I'm telling you,
we have to hold on to that hot topic because it's very, very hot.
Tolu's body was literally ready for a hot topic because she's sweating.
I'm sweating. Like the heat is getting to me because this guy, Nigerians went after him, but there's no time. Tomorrow we'll bring you the story.
I wish it was already Friday. Can't we just fast forward to Friday?
Please fast forward. Fast forward. But I guess she's with us and she's going to be with us for the final few minutes of the show. So you have to tell us your favorite travel destination. I had to ask the ladies earlier on, what's your favorite travel destination and why?
I like...
I said number one, just one.
No, I like Egypt.
You see? I told you people.
You see, Egypt is
where Pharaoh lived.
Egypt is very underrated. But let me tell you why I like Egypt. Now, aside Cairo and the pyramids and, move that one aside. Let us talk about the beach destinations in Egypt. Hurghada, Ain Sokna, Sharm el-Sheikh, Marsa Alam. The resorts are beautiful.
Oh, my God.
Can you see the way I'm describing it? They are big. The swimming pool, the beach, the Red Sea. You see, the good thing about...
to do that Red Sea? Is it that one you float in?
That's the one that has so much salt, but I don't know if there's...
Yes, there's a lot of salt. They have a lot of salt.
Yeah.
And the resorts are all inclusive. So imagine traveling and you are having breakfast, lunch, brunch, snacks, dinner, meals, drinks throughout your stay.
You need to discuss it.
And they're the ones who organize the tours. They'll take you out today to this place, take you out today to that place.
Let's have a discussion.
Parasailing.
So that I know what I am planning for.
Quad biking, deep sea diving. Yes, I've gone diving. Deep sea diving. I was under the water for like 30 minutes. It was amazing. The water was salty, yes, but...
what was your worst travel experience?
Yeah.
Even before you started the business.
I want to go to India for their dirty food.
No.
I just want to be able to see it.
I don't think I really had...
If humans really exist under those kinds of conditions. Because I'm a food tourist. So I want to be able to be sure that somebody can actually serve food, that they put their hands up to their elbows.
Please, what's your worst experience before we go
now?
I
can't really say that I've really had a worst travel experience because as a tour operator, I'm open to exploring new destinations. And sometimes I travel because I want to learn so that I know how to create a package for my customer, I know how to sell it. So there's some destinations I go to. When I come back, I say, Nigerians will not like that place. Or if you're taking Nigerians, they should do more than 3 nights. If you're taking Nigerians, they just know and tell them that they will be climbing step. One destination like that is Indonesia. I came back from Indonesia and my legs were paining me. In fact, my customers, some of them fell sick because we were just climbing step, climbing hill, climbing. Oh yes, to go and see temple, you climb. I
love it.
So I think that was one destination that I'm not looking forward to going back. That's the honest truth. Yeah, it was beautiful.
When you're looking at the temples, they're
Exactly.
beautiful, but when you're trying to get to the temples, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, we have to leave now, and that's as much as we can take today. We'll hold some of our great conversations, particularly hot topics for you guys throughout the rest of the week. But a very big thank you to our guest, Wonuola Olatunde-Lamidi, who's the co-founder of Diamonds and Pearls Travel Limited, for sharing her insights on the travel and tourism industry in Nigeria and around the continent. We hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 10 a.m. Have a good one.